Hey guys, Urban Reddit here, and this is r/ProRevenge, where you don't mess with the IT guy. Seriously, never ever mess with the IT guy. Anyway, I've got 3 stories for you. A couple of short ones and then one long one, so let's get right into it, shall we? This one's called Take My Flight Home, I'll Take Your Money. My first post and on mobile, so I guess there'll be a few spelling mistakes. You know all that, how that works, especially with autocorrect. Anyway, cast, me's me, DFO is dumb effing officer, Lieutenant Colonel. Anyway, as a new lieutenant in the army a few years back, I was tasked to be a guest observer evaluator at the National Training Center in California. Basically, it's a large desert with small towns for military units to train in before deploying. On day 29, once all the evaluations were complete, I was sent to fly back to Texas and return to my unit. In the observer controller barracks, I was approached by a Colonel DFO, the dumb effing officer. Lieutenant Brooks, I'm taking your place on the flight back to Fort So-and-so. Sir, you're part of the training unit. All of the observers are leaving on this flight, and my bags have already been sent to the airfield. I don't have any change of clothes. You'll be okay for a few days. Officers must innovate to be successful, and innovate I did. When I returned to my post, I was unable to locate my gear, including body armor, computer, old weather gear, and other like items due to the fact that they flew in 2 days before me on the flight. I was kicked off. I informed my command, and they initiated an inquiry called FLIPL, Financial Liability Investigation of Property Loss, in which an investigator is required to determine the reason for lost government property. The investigating officer determined that I was not at fault and that DFO abused his authority to return home earlier. Additionally, since I was left at the training center for over 30 days, I was due additional pay for being away for over a month, which amounted to over $1,000. DFO was found liable for over 7K's worth of my equipment and had to pay for, which I subsequently found and turned into a central issue facility. I was reissued a new set of kit. I bought myself a nice chair and put the rest into my TVSP government equivalent of 401k. I'm not sure what that is. Perhaps you guys could tell me. With the extra temporary duty money and F-Pace got reduced to a staff job. Thanks for reading. Oh dear. Well, I guess what he got was coming to him. Never mess with a guy who wants to go home on the army, I guess. Well, I guess his patience paid off. Hey. Let's move on to the next one. This one is called Assaulted, Hospitalized, Soothed, but Didn't Forget. I had this post elsewhere, but was told this would fit perfectly here, so here it goes. I got my door room broken into and assaulted in my sleep by the brother of my, at the time, girlfriend. Apparently he didn't know we were together. I was hospitalized and dragged his ass to court on charges of aggravated assault, breaking and entering, and false imprisonment. By law, the brother needed to change schools, as he could no longer be in the same area as me. I got into trouble for calling the cops on the kid, and the school tried to explain to me how the parents would pull both the brother and girl from the school, and I should leave the school instead, as they were two and I was one person. I told them no, and told them a school's purpose is education, not calculating profits. It was a private school. Anyways, they pulled our grades up and my grades were better, so I had it my way. The school proceeded to punish me by going after my grades and grading very harshly, for the purpose of making my university application harder. I got into touch with my university and told them what was going on. They thought I was bullcrapping until I sent them the court papers and a copy of my SAT scores to show I am capable of. I also contacted the Ministry of Education and told them the situation and that they should come for a visit and check if everything is done in the correct manner. I proceeded to call the authorities about the fire exits being blocked and the fire extinguishers being expired. Needless to say, Needless to say, I put my school through some serious financial mess. I graduated with an 86, which is an A minus, got into a university of my choice, but I couldn't get over the bullcrap my school attempted, so I put a calendar event when my school's website expires so I can buy it and sell it back to them for the price of my year of education. Wow. Yeah, that would be a nice story to read. But yeah, it's terrible how far schools will go in the name of profit. It really is. You know, lose two kids and you lose 2 years worth of intuition from them, but lose one kid and you lose 1 year. And with a school who just looking for profit, who do you think they're gonna lose? Anyway, let's on to the last one, shall we? This one's a bit of a long one. I might make a few mistakes, so you just have to bear with me. We'll get through it. And this one is called Don't Mess with the IT Guy. Hello Reddit, I know this is a long one, but I assure you it's worth the read. Background. This happened back in the late 90s during the dot-com era. During this period, if you were good at IT, and sometimes if you weren't, employers would be fighting for you and a person could make very good money just by switching jobs or transferring to another city. As an example, from 1997 through 2000, I was able to triple my salary by making strategic moves and relocating across the country. Sounds good. I don't know about all the moving now. I was working for a small software company in a niche market located just outside Boston. I've been working for the company for a couple of years when we all learned we'd been bought out by another company based in New Jersey. A couple of weeks after the buyout was announced, the Bobs from the parent company came and interviewed each of us to determine what our fate would be. I thought I did well, but it was still a nervous month or so. We found out the results when the inevitable restructuring was announced. I was given the opportunity to transfer to the head office in New Jersey and report directly to the CTO as manager of network services. That must be a nice position for him. The company agreed to pay for my relocation costs if I agreed to work for the company for at least 1 year. This would be important later. I would have a staff of 5 system admins and 2 DBAs, not sure what that is, and be responsible for all of the infrastructure, including the power generation and HVAC plant. Of course, one of the first things I had to do was perform an assessment of all the systems to make sure everything was in order. I found that from a technical perspective, things were just okay. There were definitely room for improvement, but what was complete disarray was software licensing. They were running all Microsoft Shop and didn't have any licenses for the server operating systems or databases. Essentially, they were pirating software like Captain Jack Sparrow. Like a Pirates of the Caribbean reference there. Now, it's one thing if little Jerry runs a hot copy of Photoshop on his home PC, but it's entirely another thing if a company of this size in the technical field is running all pirated software in the data center. Wow, pirated. Damn. I immediately contacted the CTO, who was also a relatively new hire. I let him know what I found. We agreed it was a serious issue and prepared an agenda item for the next management meeting, with a cost estimate of nearly 100,000. I think I know where this is going, to bring us into compliance, and that was just for the servers. Now, the senior leadership of this company were very rich people who made their money in the construction business and thought that jumping on the dot-com bandwagon was a good idea. They had absolutely zero experience with large IT infrastructure or in managing knowledge workers. But that could be a whole separate story. We presented the dire state of our compliance and requested the funds to get legal. The request was denied. Of course, when you're in IT, you can't just do things like that, because if it ever comes out that you are pirating software in a business setting, they'll go after you personally in addition to the company. So as a CYA, the CTO or I will bring up the license discrepancies at every management meeting and we documented it on paper and in email form. Wow, not good at all. Fast forward a few months and the poor management decisions are starting to surface. The pipe dream of going public is slowly dying, and they've taken to looking for a buyer from another company. The cash burn rate is phenomenal with payroll alone. The company is circling the drain. It comes down that I need to start laying off staff, something I never had to do, and let me tell you, it's a gut-wrenching thing. Of course, the people who made the decision want no part of looking those people in the eye during the process, so it fell to me. Soon I had no more staff and I was doing all the work of keeping the place running myself. I decided it was time for my own exit. Well, there was that one catch. I was still under contract to work there for a few more months, and if they were using that to make me stay, if I'd left, I'd have to repay them thousands in relocation expenses, so, like any enterprising young man, I decided my best course of action was to try to get fired. I told the CTO my plan. He and I are still good friends, and he tactfully approved my course of action while he was planning his exit as well. Sounds like a really bad company, actually. I decided that since I was now the entire IT department, oh god, that's a very hard job for just one person alone, I deserved a bigger office. After everyone had left for the day, I moved all my stuff upstairs where the nice offices were and picked the largest empty one. The next morning arrives and the evil COO walks in and does a double take at me working away in my new digs. A few days later, evil COO goes to my boss and tells him that I need to move because they want to consolidate office space with another company they own, and they want my office for the accountant from the construction company. I drop an ultimatum, tell him if I take my stuff out of this office, it's going to my car. I quickly start working on lining up a new job and type up a resignation letter to have on hand. This lasts for another 2 weeks or so. Evil COO again approaches my boss with an order of no, really, he's got to move out of that office. My boss advises him against this course of action, but he persists. Despite the warning, CTO walks into my office and informs me of evil COO's demand. So I print out my letter and walk into his office without knocking, slide my resignation letter on his desk and walked out. The look on his face was priceless. You need a shovel to scrape his jaw off the desk. I've already packed most of my things, so I grabbed the box and walked out the door. The end? Oh no, my friends, this is just the beginning. The revenge. When payday comes round, I call to inquire about my last paycheck. Evil COO tells me they're withholding it as compensation for the relocation expenses. I informed him that it is illegal to do that. They can sue me for the expenses if they want, but by law they have to pay my wages. He again refuses, and I drop ultimatum 2. Either you cut me a check now, or when we hang up I'm going to make 2 phone calls, and you're not going to like what happens. He said, do what you gotta do. Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you. I also found out when I asked Cobra that they'd been deducting health insurance from my paychecks, but he had never set up with a policy, so I've been paying for exactly nothing all those months. Call 1 was into the New Jersey State Labor Board to report the non-payment of wages. Call 2 was to the Software Publishers Association, which at the time represented a number of companies including Microsoft in licensing disputes. I provide them with documentation of all their systems, the state of their licensing non-compliance, and offer to testify at any depositions or trials that may be required. I also warned my CTO buddy that this was in the process and to get ready for the coming storm. The Labour Board hearing came about and we went before the arbiter. The human resource lady smugly provided a signature agreement regarding the moving expenses, which I have included in my filing anyway, thinking that would be her silver bullet. After they made their case, I argued that because I've been offered the position of manager in network services, but had to lay off my whole staff, I was no longer a manager, and thus they'd breached their part of the agreement. The arbiter agreed. She ordered them to write me a check on the spot for the missing wages, ×3, wow, nice, as a penalty, and to repay all of the health care premiums that had not been deducted from my checks. Phase 1 complete. CTO reported to me that the SBA showed up with lawyers and accountants to do an audit on all the systems. CTO provided them with the documentation that we'd presented where there was a problem, along with their responses. The audit was brutal. They ended up settling for $250,000 to avoid going to court over the piracy, and the SBA paid me 10% as a bounty. Nice. The settlement was one of the final nails in the coffin. The company only lasted a couple more months and was bought out of pocket change by a competitor just for the customer base. Well, the story, don't F with your IT guy when he's got big time dirt on you. Wow, this guy is a legend. Not only did he make the company sell for change, you know, he got 10%, which is what? 10% of 250,000, about 20, or just over 20,000, while reporting a company using pirated software. But he certainly ruined those lot. Anyway guys, that's all the time I've got for now. If you enjoyed today's video, then please do leave a like. Don't forget to comment, and if you would like to see more, and don't forget to subscribe. But until then, I shall see you all in the next video. Bye bye.